Hey, so today I want to talk about a random ass fucking thing because I do that every time. Don't know why. I just talk about random shit constantly. But there's something I was thinking about some types of people that I've met. Though, like I said, I haven't met people, but there was a time when I was younger and I did actually meet people. But there's one type of person that I seem to always meet, and not only did I meet this type of person, but these type of people were people in my family. And I mean, not a lot of people in my family. It was like one or two, but like the type of person I'm referring to are people who try to obsessively like assure you that like they don't care about specific things. But okay, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a weird thing to explain because it's like, okay, people don't care about things, right? Like we all have things that we just either like, dislike, or just don't care about in general, right? I don't know, I'll try to think of an example. I've never played tennis. I've never played tennis, right? So I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I dislike it. I just don't care about it. Never played it. Doesn't matter to me, right? It's just a sport. I think it's considered. I'm assuming it's considered a sport. Anyway, my point being, not like not caring in the sense of like, oh, it's something that you do know about but you don't care, or you don't know about and you don't care. Because I've been pretty open about most things. Usually, if I like or dislike something, I'm open about it. If I don't know a lot about something, then I say I don't care or I don't know. But there's this type of person where it's like it's kind of like it's like really hard to explain for me because like I have the fucking brain of a fucking fish. So I guess I'll just use like an example. For example, like let's say you're talking to someone about like what other people think about you, right? So like usually like some people have like a problem where they're like, "Oh, I'm always worried about what other people are thinking about me," right? So let's say you're talking to this person and you say that, "Oh, you're worried about what people are like saying behind your back or what people are thinking about you," right? Like you're thinking like, "Oh, people probably think I'm weird or something." But then that person you talk to and their way of giving like an example, or their way of like rationalizing it for themselves is like, "I don't give a shit what anyone thinks about me." Like the second someone says it, anything like that, that's kind of how you know that they do actually care. And now that you can easily just look at that and be like, no, it doesn't. But it really does because I've met so many people who do the whole like defensive I don't care. Because there's a difference between saying like, oh, I don't really care about that, and being like, bitch, I don't give a shit. Like the only time like saying you don't care about something with that inflection actually matters is when you're already talking in a heated way. Like I've done that plenty of times where I've talked about something, I'm like, this thing is bullshit and it's stupid, and then people come up with this thing and I'm like, I don't give a shit. What the fuck does that have to do with anything, right? Because that's me talking, that's me saying it in a heated moment. Compared to like when everything's like on this low level and you're just like talking about something very basically, nothing's rising, and then the person suddenly escalates with an I don't care, usually said like bitch I don't care or I don't give a shit, with like the head wag. They like move their head left and right to let you know that they're putting their emotions into this. You better understand that they don't care. And that's how you know that they care. Because I've met so many people where you if you ever talk about especially that whole like, oh, caring about what people think about you, they try so hard to be like that I don't give a shit type. But then you'll hear them nonstop just talk about like other people and like, well, shit talking other people, as well as constantly just like talking about like, oh, this person probably fucking hates me, this person probably thinks I'm a piece of shit. And it's like that's not a good thing to think. Like you shouldn't take pride in the idea that people might think you're a piece of shit. But obviously they're just saying it because they want to make it seem like, oh, they really don't care. But the fact that you keep bringing it up means you do care, and the way that you say it means you care. And obviously, yeah, people can easily just say, like, oh, well, there probably are people who genuinely don't care, who act like that. And yeah, that's probably true. But from the people I've met who fit this kind of like idea where Their like whole thing is like, I'm a bad bitch. I don't give a shit, man. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. You think I care? You think I care? Meanwhile, if someone so much as slights their opinion, they fucking lose their shit and go on a tirade and break down and start slamming their fists into the ground like fucking Donkey Kong, fucking losing their shit, beating their chest, losing it, right? Like, I should know. Like I said, I have had people in my family like that. Like, my mom is the best example of that. The whole, like, she acts like she's so bad, like she don't give a shit about no one. She's just too good for that. She don't care. Who cares what other people think about her? She's got so much on her plate. No, she don't give a shit. And then whenever you're not talking about that topic, she'll just constantly whine about how people don't like her and how people talk about her and how people probably think she's a piece of shit, and then will constantly get mad at people for thinking differently than her. And it's like, you literally just said you didn't fucking care, and then you just complain about it nonstop. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, I don't know. But like, that's the best example I can give is like people who like, because it's different than getting defensive, right? Because like when you say something like, oh, so do you have like any fears? And they're like, what? No, no, I'm not scared of anything, compared to just being like, bitch, I don't care about fear. Like, that is how you know. Because like defensive, at least you can tell like the person is like they're embarrassed, right? Like they want to like talk about it, but it's like kind of like one of those things where they're just like, I don't really want to go on about it. Compared to someone who's like, they want to act like they're bad, like they're top shit because they have an ego. It's an ego thing. It's more of like a, you think I'm gonna give a shit, but they really do give a shit. They want to think that they're better than this, that this is peasant behavior. Puh, thinking about, caring about what other people think. Mental problems, fears. I'm so above that. And then that's the only thing they'll fucking bitch about, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I've met so many people that have done that fucking I don't care, like the cocky I don't care, where it just kind of becomes like no one buys it, really. Like, no one buys it. Like, it's a lot better just to be open about things. Like, if you genuinely don't care about things, then I think people would understand when you genuinely do not give a shit about a specific thing, compared to suddenly like bursting out with like this energy of like, yeah, man, I don't give a shit. You think I think about that? Nah, man, I don't fucking care. That's fucking stupid. Like, no. It's like, if you really didn't care, you'd just be like, oh, I don't know anything about that, or oh, I don't really care about that much, right? Because it's basically the equivalent. It's like an ego version of like, defensive, because defensive is like just like losing your shit. Like, what? No, fuck you. Oh, what are you talking about? No, 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 I don't know what you're talking about. Compared to the other one where it's like, what, man? Nah, I don't care about that. That shit doesn't have nothing in my life. That doesn't matter to me. I don't know nothing about that. It's ego defense, right? It's basically just like, they're two sides of the same coin. One is like from people who are just embarrassed and have no ego, and the other one is from people who have a huge fucking ego and they want to treat it like it's beneath them, and then they whine about it nonstop. Like I said, I've met a lot of people like that, and technically I could probably fit into that criteria too, because I've definitely, like, said I don't care to a lot of things, and there's probably something that maybe I do end up caring about, but at this point I don't remember which ones that are, really. Mostly because anytime I say I don't care, it's usually just something I genuinely have never interacted with or even really seen. And the few things I said I don't care about are things that I've said I've hated, and because I hate it so much, it's like I don't want to care about it, right? Like, if you hate something so much, like, you don't want to care about it. You don't even want to think about it. It's like that thing just makes you mad. You just fucking don't want it, dude. So you don't care. You want to, at the end of the day, you do care about it, but you just keep saying I don't care about it because it's like, I hate this thing so much, I just want to not care about it. But at the end of the day, you do, and you can't really fucking change it. But it's a different role than the whole high and mighty ego of, oh, I don't give a shit what you think. Yeah, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. Meanwhile, every time you talk to them any other day, they're just like, oh man, this person's probably saying something behind my back. Oh man, I'm so, oh, this thing, that thing, oh fuck, oh fuck. Like, I don't know. I don't really know why I wanted to talk about this. I mean, I didn't really make videos in like 2, 3 days or something like that because I was busy fucking downloading games. So I was just like, what can I talk about? And I was just like, I don't know. I kind of thought about this thing and how I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing to hear people like go into the weirdest form of defense because I'd rather hear someone just like constantly deny it than just have someone just like give like the cockiest opinion of, or not even opinion, just the cockiest answer of, oh, I don't give a shit, bro. I'm too bad for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm too good. I'm like I'm too above it. You know what I mean? I'm too above it. Like it's just it's so fucking ego. It's like egocentric, dude. Like I don't understand it. Like I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing, and I don't know. I don't really know what more I can say about it. It's just like it's just one of those things where I feel like you just have to kind of like know a person like that to really understand it because the more I try to explain it, the less it makes sense. And even now, like as I explain it, I'm just like I don't even understand what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just like I don't feel like I'm saying anything, but I know what I am trying to say, and it's really hard to explain because it just sounds like I'm complaining about people who say they don't care about things. But I'm more talking about the people who like use like I don't care as a defensive and then get really cocky and about it and treat it like it's like a beneath them situation, right? So it's kind of hard for me to explain, but that's because I am a complete idiot. But I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things where you have to actually know that type of person to more of understand it because I don't think my fucking pea brain can actually explain it well enough. So yeah, I don't know. Whatever.